Hello everyone, Patrice Jiwandono here. Today's topic is about another reading strategy which will lead you to vocabulary mastery. So basically I'm going to talk about a strategy which involves reading and that will improve your vocabulary learning. Okay, this topic is entitled Reading Like Crazy, yeah, because it really involves a lot of reading. It is an extensive reading. Okay, without further ado, let's dive into my PowerPoint slides. Okay, so this is the topic for today, reading like crazy. Yeah. Now let me start this presentation with my story. When I was aged 10 years old, long time ago, I used to have a habit of reading my father's Newsweek. Yeah, so every 2 weeks, my father got a Newsweek. It was delivered to our house, and then I read that Newsweek. Of course, it was all in English. Yeah? Newsweek is published by an English publisher based in USA, and you know I was only 10 years old, so really I really had no English at all. My English was zero. Yeah, the only things I could say was just probably things like I don't know. Yeah, my name is Patrice, and that's it. Yeah, but then I really had the guts to read the Newsweek. I happen to be a fan of Formula One driving, Formula One race, and I followed the race, which is told in the Newsweek. I read the news, and still of course, with my very limited English, I had to grapple with the sentence, with the vocabulary. There were lots of words which I didn't know at the time, but I kept reading. And gradually, I learned more and more words. Yeah, I began to be able to understand what was being told in that news. Yeah. And that strengthened my belief that actually by reading, I can enhance my vocabulary knowledge. I can learn more and more words simply by reading and reading and reading, reading like crazy. Yeah, so that's my story. Yeah. Why do we need to read like crazy? Because of these benefits. The benefit is repeated exposure to words. So basically, when you read more, you will be exposed to repeated words. And that repetition enables you to eventually learn and pick more and more words. Yeah. So let me give you an example of how this works. For example, let's say that you read this sentence. At first, the task seemed difficult. Many tried to finish it, but no one had actually completed successfully. Then I had a closer look at it, and I kind of thought it was get fired. Now you probably wonder what get fired means. Yeah. Of course, it's not an English word. Yeah. I put this in order to emphasize the fact that there are sometimes very new words which you have not known the meaning, whose meanings you have not known. Yeah. So here, the new word is get fired. Yeah. And in this first reading, probably you have not been able to figure out what get fired means. Yeah. But then you read on, yeah, you keep reading, and then you come across the second sentence, which is like this. The task is get fired, and the team could finish it only within an hour. Yeah, again, the word get fired appears again here. Now you begin to have a slight clue. You begin to be able to figure out, yeah, the meaning of get fired. Yeah. And then you keep on reading, you read on and on, you read more, and then you come across the third sentence. Yeah. The third sentence goes like this. The task seems tough, but if you practice a lot, you will see that it actually is get fired. Another get fired appears again in this sentence. Now, By the time you read the third sentence, you will be able to figure out that, or to guess that the meaning of campfire is actually easy or not difficult. Yeah. Campfire, you say it to yourself in your mind that campfire should mean easy or not difficult. Now, this is an example of repeated exposure to words. The more you read, the more you are exposed to the same words over and over again, repeatedly. Yeah. And with the repetition, the more the words are repeated in the sentences that you come across, in the sentences that you read, the more you'll be able to figure out the meaning. The more you'll be able to guess the meaning. And most of the time, your guess is correct. So you don't have to look it up in a dictionary. Most of the time, you'll be able to successfully guess the meaning of the new words because of the repeated exposure. Okay? Yeah. So actually, what happens when you read a lot, you will have to figure out many new words. That's what I experienced when I was only a 10-year-old boy trying to read an article from Newsweek. Yeah. The more you read, the more frequently they come up. Yeah. And then the more frequently they come up, the better your chance is to figure out their meanings correctly. Yeah. So this is called incidental vocabulary learning. It is incidental because you do not plan it, yet you just read and read and read, reading like crazy. But as you go on with your reading, you'll be able to figure out, eventually you'll be able to figure out the meaning of some words because those words keep appearing over and over again. Yeah. So that's incidental vocabulary learning. That's as opposed to the opposed strategy is intentional vocabulary learning. In intentional vocabulary learning, you have a list of words which you memorize deliberately. That's intentional vocabulary learning. You plan to learn beforehand. Yeah. But here you just keep reading reading like crazy. Yeah. And along the way, you have this incidental vocabulary learning. The more you read, the better your chances will be to figure out the meanings of some new words which keep appearing over and over again. Okay. So the strategy here, we can wrap up my strategies here. So you have to read extensively, read a wide variety of English texts of various topics. Yeah, you can read about society, you can read about relationship, about aliens maybe, about cooking, about dancing, music, politics, etc. Things that are of interest for you, things that you are interested in. Yeah. So you just read all of them, read a wide variety of topics, from books, from magazines, from online materials. You just read all of those materials, yeah, of different topics. You can also spare at least 1 hour every day, at least 1 hour every day to read something in English. I have a habit of spending a few hours reading the Jakarta Post, that is an online newspaper, and it not only gives me information but also keep up my English, yeah, keep up my reading skills, yeah, and keep up my vocabulary mastery. Okay, yeah. You can also dedicate a year to finish at least 1 or 2 good novels or good books in English, of course. Yeah. Let me give you an example. I have been reading a very good book here. It's called Symbols. Yeah, I bought this and then I read this book. It's quite interesting. It talks about various symbols that we use in our daily life and the meanings of the symbols, the historical background to those symbols. Yeah, it's quite an interesting book. Yeah. Also, this one, um, Intelligent Design. This is a bit heavy. Talks about the creation of the life and universe and all of those philosophical and scientific things. Yeah. So these two books have been able to enable me to keep up with my English, to keep my vocabulary knowledge, to enhance my vocabulary knowledge. Yeah. And so I suggest strongly that you also pick the same habit. Read one or two good books in a year, at least. Yeah. Of course, the more, the better. Yeah. Okay, guys, I guess that's all. Good luck for your reading. Happy reading, and see you again in my next episode. Goodbye.